Okay, yesterday we got playing with the TS120v, which is the little 10-watt version. Of course, we did a little snippet of the TL120 amplifier, and I haven't had a chance to clean this up yet, so it still needs a bit of a polish over. There's a few little marks and little grotty things. Actually, I can't live with that. Hang on. While this video is sort of could go on with that mark there, I can't live with it. Back in a minute. Okay, that's much better. Look, it was just someone's Weet-Bix from the 1980s still sitting on the bottom here somewhere, and you know, I'll just clean that off. TL120 linear amplifier. Kenwood really did a great job of this. They were filtered beautifully. They really did do a nice clean 100 watts when injected with 10 watts from the 120 or 130V. They are incredibly difficult to find. Basically, I've not had a look inside a 120 for a very long time. So someone asked me a question, last time we looked at a 120, you know, is it basically a 120S rear end on the, you know, on the back of the output stages on the back, have they basically, you know, transported it over into a little box? And I've got to say, the answer to that is probably yes. Now, I'm just thinking if I've got a circuit for one here. Would be interesting to have a quick look. So I had to go steal this out of my other TL120 box because I was curious to have a look at the devices. Now, they use, in a probably easier way to see there, some SRF 1714s by 2. So that's how they're getting their 100 watts. Now, I'm trying to remember now when they used 2SC 2290s in the in the 120. So I think they possibly did. So we're probably talking a different device. I have to do the research. I would probably say the SRF 1714 is probably, when you look at the specs, very, very similar to a 2SC 2290, etc., etc. But as you can see, the circuit, and I had to undo this. This one's had a bit of a, it's a beautiful condition manual, but to keep it that way, someone's wrapped it in plastic some time back. Yeah, so it certainly looks, as far as the rest of the filtering and how this works here, this is pretty much all Kenwood, but that's pretty standard for any switched amplifier from 10 to 80 meters, and it's just going to have a bank of filters, etc. And the rest of it, really, as I just ponder around, is just all smarts making it switch and do what it does. And they're using some, I was just having a look, some 2SC 1959 drivers way back there, so that's interesting. They're using one or two of those. One. Oh, they may not be using it as a driver, actually. No, maybe not. If there's only one of them, I doubt that, because they're really going to produce 10 watts. No, they take that back. I'll have to find out where Q10 is. Where is Q10? Q10 is Q1, 12, 13. Q10 comes down. Diode protect over there. If I could read this, my glasses are just terrible. So that's off the MK line. So what are they doing there? Good question. Let's have a look. Switches down there. Geez, I'm turning this into a, let's diagnose. Oh, it's the protection. Okay, yep. So they're looking for feedback on the protection, and from memory, yes, they do. They have a protection light on there, so that's just to trigger the protection light. Yep. Okay, let me put this over here. It was nice to just sort of answer that question from about a year ago, but I think the answer is no. They have got a different output to what they used in the 130s and 120Ss. But what a lovely amp. I thought, just sort of to see whether my Motorola monitor agrees with my bird meter. We're on the 250 watt scale. I've got a few bird meters here, so you'll see different ones that I use from time to time. They're obviously, you know, reasonably accurate meters, but only as accurate as the last time, you know, they're probably calibrated. But generally, I find, let's have a look. So we got right on 100 watts there. Right spot on. I'm on the 250 watt range, 0 to 250. So we're going to go right on that, or just a tad over, maybe 101, 102. And my monitor over here, which will generally read a bit low, let's have a look. On the watt scale on the right, 96.8 watts. So look, not much in it. If you said to me which one's more accurate, I'd say the Bird. I really would, and it would be consistent with these getting 100 watts. Now this is not a PEP Bird meter, so when I go to sideband and I go hello, hello, hello. Oh, can't even whistle right now. Never can whistle. I'm a shocking whistler. You're seeing that average sort of power that's happening there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And even on my, once again, not PEP. So sometimes your meters can be a little bit annoying in the fact that you're not really seeing quite what the amp is capable of once we go into CW. Once I put 10 watts straight in, actually I'll show you that. First we'll go amplifier operate is off, so we should see about 10 watts in. So let's have a look. It will be just on this scale, the top scale here. So we're looking for that to show about 12 watts there. So that's about 12 watts. And then we go straight over to operate on 40 meters and just probably call that 105 watts. So yeah, it's and look, they will the amp will vary depending on just how much power we're putting into it and how much coax you're running between them, and lots of different facets of amplifier technology that I don't even try to understand sometimes. Look, actually, here's a good demonstration. I'm going to put this into send. Now, we're on a dummy load, so I'll just show you. If I go to send, go up and down the band, have a look at this. Now, this is just a good example of, things will vary ever so slightly. It's not really making... Actually, it's making a bit of a liar out of me. It's not moving that much at all, is it, really? All right, forget that. Okay, lovely. It was a lovely idea. Let's just see on 80 meters. So the other thing is that we then need to go to 80 meters on here. So there was no automatic function with these. You definitely had to. Let me just show you what happens if you do the wrong thing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Why didn't? Oh, hang on. Let's bring that back down in frequency over here, and go over there. And in theory, that should go into protect 1, 2. Why didn't it protect 1, 2? Okay, it's making a liar out of me at the moment on 80 meters. Let's try something a bit more absurd. Let's try the filter out 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, 80 meters. Might be having a look at the protect circuit on this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, no, because we're in a dummy load. Maybe, sorry, because we may... still should protect, to be honest. I'm convinced it should protect. All right, hang on, let's go to CW. Let's go the opposite way around. Let's do this. Let's say it's on 10 meters. So I'm going to be on 10 meters here. The amp's on 3.5. Aha. Right. Okay. Don't ask me why. Now let's keep going. So we're going to reset. It just shows when you're on dummy load. Yeah, protect. It didn't like the filter at all. Just interesting that protect. Doesn't like that at all. All right. So now. We were sort of here not that long ago. We're right there. Protect. Now, the only thing I'm doing there, sorry, to be very honest, I'm putting CW in versus hello 1, 2, 3. So it just may need a bit more carrier by the sounds of it to, and here it shouldn't protect. And perfect. And getting our 100 watts on 80 meters. So, yeah, look, they're a great little amp. With the 120v, they didn't have the processor, so honestly, you generally need to get into the 120V and just have a play with the mic stage, get them driving a bit better. This amp's only going to do as well as you drive it with this thing here. Where the 130s had the processor, I probably should have grabbed a 130V. I've got a few of those in stock just to show you the processor, because what happens is when I go hello 1, 2, 3 on any of the sidebands, all of a sudden, of course, our average power, even though it's only average, is going to be more up towards 60, 70, 80 watts, where your PEP is just going to sit there at 80 to 100. So there are meters and then there are meters as far as how they read. I've actually got a PEP one, which a mate of mine is looking at the moment, has a little PEP function at the bottom, and I've been so slack. Look, he made a really nice offer to me, and I've got to say, he's a great guy, but I said to him, oh mate, if you can fix it, I haven't got time to. So he's just having a look at the PEP board for me, and just to sort of give him a little project. Not that he hasn't got enough projects, but he did tell me, actually, and I didn't know this, you can buy the PEP boards for these as an option. and fit them in. So maybe that's something that we should do with a few of the bird meters we've got here, because like anybody, I like seeing the big numbers. Anyway, so that's the TL120 amp. I'm just going to go to 20 meters, put a bit of carrier in there. Once again, let's turn it off and have a look at what we've got into it. If I go to CW, it would help more. Alright, so about 12 watts there. So then we're going to go to operate, and we're going to see what we've got here on 20 meters. Probably about 110 watts there, maybe 110. So yeah, a little bit more. Generally, these amps work good for about 100 watts. I know all the there's a dozen people that have told me that your TL120 is faulty. It should be getting 180 to 250 watts. Okay, but here's my theory. If they set them up to run on a PS30 power supply, and the power supply is generally 20 amps, might peak a bit more than that, well, the maths sort of says to you that it's probably not going to do 2 to 250 watts, is it? Instead of if this was the design power supply to run this. So that's my argument to that. I won't even get into the circuit, and because I clearly have only just learnt that they run different to 2290s in this thing we're just looking at over here. So with the SRF 1714s, which are much easier to see here. And actually, had I looked at this a bit earlier, yeah, look how the protection control, yep. There you go, it's all there down on the bottom right, and then comes up there. Yeah, sometimes your block diagram, you can really save yourself a lot of time and just work out what the manufacturers were thinking. Anyway, I won't go any more into this. You'll be here for 20 minutes otherwise. But great amps. Really think if you've got a V series of any of these radios, the 120s or 130s, then you deserve to have a TL120 sitting next to it, because they just were the matching piece that, and as I said, look, they are just getting impossible to get now. And especially look at the condition of this thing. I mean, apart from the cornflakes that I had to clean off, but really is just super clean. So they are out there, likewise, actually the amp here, little mark there that, probably, that one, oh no, that cleans off, but that one's just a little scratch there. But overall, for 1980s equipment, some of the stuff, people have kept it in reasonably good condition. Now, I've got all brand new versions of these sitting in boxes and things because I'm insane. All the 120v S's, all the VFOs, and all the DFC 230s and all the other bits that went with them. So we kind of keep them as collectibles. So now and again you'll see us move on stuff that we've just got too much of. So I don't know where this falls into that category, because we may decide to keep this with another 120, 130. So we've actually got a in the V series we've actually got an amp on each one. I don't know, we'll see. But it does sound a bit ludicrous. 7.3s to you, all the best. I've got to go do an FT901 next, so we'll get this one out the way, and we'll pop a 901 on here. And but yeah, great memories of what a fantastic amplifier these were. And yeah, I don't know if I like this cover. I've just started peeling it off, to be honest, because I generally look after my manuals fairly well and don't need this. And as I just found out, for me to access the circuit, if you can imagine trying to look at the circuit through this, it was a pain in the butt. So yeah, that might have to go, I think. But someone was just being incredibly careful with their booklets, which, hey, I appreciate that. All right, 7.3s, VK3 Charlie Mike. Please subscribe. Thank you very much. We had a big surge the other day, went over 2,000. Thank you. Really, it's like you guys listened. I was really appreciative, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning this morning, and I woke Samantha up and I said, hey, we're over 2,000. And she said, righto, is the house burning down? No. Good night. Didn't provoke the same enthusiasm. Weird. Don't know. Women. 73 is all the best. VK3 Charlie Mike JDW 229 Tangambalanga, Northeast Victoria, Australia. All the best. And please subscribe. We will never say no to more subscribers. It's always good to have you on board. Cheers.